What's up, guys? Welcome back to another short sermon. Today's short sermon is on how to overcome temptation. So I'm guessing why you clicked on this video is you're probably struggling with a temptation. You keep falling into this sin. So I'm going to address how to deal with it. I want to start in James chapter 1, starting with verse 5 through 6. It says, "If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave at sea, and is blown and tossed by the wind." So the first thing is we need to realize that we need to have undivided loyalty only to God. In Proverbs 3 verses 5 through 6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will and in all you do, and he will show you which path to take." Right? Don't have divided loyalty, not even to go your own way, but actually to seek God in everything, that you are taking his path. Right. So I want to share real quick a vision that I had yesterday. Right. I'm not going to go too much into what it was, but if you know the story of the woman caught in adultery, it was kind of from her point of view, but in a sense, but instead it was me, right? And these people were saying, "I've done this and I've done that," right? Should we stone him, right? And Jesus, of course, draws in the sand and says, "Let the person without sin cast the first stone," right? And so one by one, they drop the stone, they leave, and God looks at me and he says, right, "Is anyone condemning you?" I said, "No." And he said, "Then neither am I. Go and sin no more." And real quick before he leaves, I grab onto his robe and says, "How do I stop sinning?" And he gave me this really, really easy phrase. He said, "Abide in me." When you fully follow me, when you trust in me, when you are with me all the time, now you're going to be able to overcome temptation. Think about a sheep and a shepherd. How does a sheep not get eaten by the wolf? He stays with the shepherd. He stays away from harm's way. And when he sees the wolf in the distance, he runs to the shepherd. And he was saying that I need to be like that sheep that runs to the shepherd. In John chapter 15, I want to read this, and it says, "I am the true grapevine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, and he prunes the branches that bear fruit so that they will produce even more. You have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch that withers. Such branches are gathered into the pile to be burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask anything you want and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. I have loved you, even as my Father has loved me. Remain in my love. When you obey my commandments, you remain in my love, just as I obey my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you these things so that you will be filled with joy. Yes, your joy will overflow. This is my commandment. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. There's no greater commandment. There's no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend. You are my friends, if you do what I have commanded. I no longer call you slaves because a master doesn't confine in his slaves. You are my friends, since I have told you everything my Father has told me. You didn't choose me, I choose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit so that the Father will give you whatever you ask for, using my name. This is my commandment. Love each other. So how do we overcome temptation? We need to remain in God. We need to, when we see that wolf in the distance, to run to him, to start praying out to him, calling his name, ask him for help. And it seems so simple, yet how many times do we forget to do this? That when we're faced with temptation, do we turn straight to God. We start reading the Bible. We start praying to God, praying in tongues. Right? God has given us so many options to remain in Him. We just need to realize when we're being tempted to go there. Go to that place with the Father. I think a great way to do this is put a reminder somewhere. This can be on your wall. It could be if you want to get tattooed, that's fine, right? But get some reminder to when you are being tested to go straight to God. And God will remind you when you are being tested, hey, don't do it. Turn to me, right? God won't let the temptation be more than we can handle. We have the opportunity to turn to our shepherd, to our Father, for protection. And I know you've probably heard this so many times, but I need you to really consider, have you been doing it? Have you been praying as soon as you get tempted? Have you been opening your Bible as soon as you get tempted? If the answer is no, then maybe that's what you need to start doing. Right? People can tell you again and again and again, but if you don't put it into practice, it's not going to lead to results. You can watch every sermon on pornography. You can watch any sermon on drugs or alcoholism, right? You can watch sermons on these. But if you don't put into practice going to the shepherd, going to the Father, you will never be able to have that true freedom. You need to remain in Him, not to serve to the right or to the left, but to walk down that straight path that God has made for us, which He said in Proverbs 3:5-6. So if this has encouraged you, like the video. If this helps you with your walk with God, it helps you overcome temptation, be sure to like the video. Maybe subscribe to watch some more videos from me that will also benefit you in your walk with God. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless. Fight the good fight, and I will see you guys next time.